this is Mike, Seder 42 Vinyl, doing another video. This is Metal Part 3. This is for March, April. Yeah, if you watched the first video, you'll know what I did. But yeah, so this is going to be the last of the albums that I bought for Metal in the month of March, April. And let's just get started. This is the reissue of Alice Cooper Trash. This has been on my list for quite a while. This was one of my regrets. I had an opportunity to buy an original press for I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. And I just was like, I pass. And I just passed. And ever since that day, I've been like, I want that album. So this is the newer repress. This is the album that Desmond Child wrote several songs on here. He wrote Poison. I think he helped him write some other songs. So this is more typical of the hair metal style of the 80s. This came out in 89 than it is Alice Cooper. But I still think Alice has his touches on here, and I still like this album. It definitely stands out in his discography. It's Alice's version of hair metal, and I think they wrote the songs in Alice style, so I don't think he picked songs that were too outside of his comfort zone, or at least where he's at musically. So this album is good. I definitely like this album. I don't have any problems with it. I know some people don't like it, and it is kind of like a not a typical Alice Cooper album, at least sound wise. And Desmond Child's on this, so it has that slickness to it. It's got really sweet saccharine choruses. Obviously Poison is on here, so that song is obviously the hit single, and he has to play it live every show now. He still plays it, so it's definitely one of his most popular songs. But yeah, I get that song's worn out. But the rest of these songs on here, I've never really listened to. I've never owned this album. Even when I was younger, when I was into hair metal, I didn't buy this album. I only really heard Poison on Headbangers Ball. So that's the only song I was really, really familiar with back then. So now I have the whole album, and glad I do. I like it.
We're gonna fight. We do it every night, baby. With a scratch, I'm gonna bite. You can make me die, I can make you cry. Opposite attract, that's the reason why. No one else could make you feel like I do. No one ever gets as deep inside you as I do, baby. Our love is a bed of nails. Love hurts good on a bed of nails. I'll lay you down, and when all else fails, I'll drive you like a hammer on a bed of nails.
This one I got really cheap. I got this for like 35 bucks, but this album is bent to shit too. Like the album cover, I'll show this just because it's kind of bad. It's kind of got water damage, so it's just bent. The back shows kind of the creasing a little bit more. It's like it almost got wet and bent at the same time, but it didn't get very wet, but it did get really bent. And it also has some edge wear. So if you ever know what, people say edge wear all the time, but that's kind of what edge wear is, but the spine is pretty good. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. And the best part of this album, it's fucking mint. The album is mint. Not even a pop on there. I don't think this album was played very much. Whoever had it, maybe they had an accident with the album cover and they were just like, fuck, and they just never played the album again for whatever reason. But they definitely took care of the album. And this is Lillian Axe, Love and War, by the way. Great album from 1989. This is a fantastic record from Lillian Axe. I really, really like Lillian Axe in this era of the band. Their first two albums are really, really, really good. This album can go for up to $100 or more on eBay and sometimes on Discogs. You can sometimes find a deal, but the guy who had this, he knew the album cover was all fucked up and that he couldn't get top dollar. So he went down to like 35 bucks with me, and I ended up getting this super, super cheap. Sounds fantastic. Once it's in the plastic like this, I don't pay, you really can't tell that it's kind of bent down here. So, I think that's fine. And this is a really great album, and I got a really good deal on it.
I'm not the kind of man who lets a woman tell me just what I can and cannot do.
All right, this album, this is Fight to Survive, White Lion. This is the repress on Splatter. This album, I don't know what song they played, but they were in the movie Money Pit. They were, I think it was either Tom Hanks. They were like managers of this band, and there's one scene where they're shooting a video for the band. But anyway, that's just kind of a side story. But they did that on this album, I believe. This is 1985, and this is the repress. Sounds good. I mean, I like White Lion. I like this album, but I am definitely Pride, Big Game, even Main Attraction. I like all three of those albums better than this. But this is a good album if those albums are played out and you still want to hear White Lion. And again, that's just me liking the popular stuff, I guess, whatever. I don't think this is a bad album. It's just, it's a first album. And there's definitely not something's not bad. It's just, I would just not say it's my favorite from them. But yeah, I got that really cheap too on Amazon. I think I got that for like $15. Keep an eye on those Amazon warehouse deals. And that album came brand new, nothing wrong with it. It was perfect. So I don't know why somebody sent that back. Recently, I've been trying to complete my Van Halen collection, and I finally picked up Women and Children First. 2 hits on here were Cradle Will Rock and Everybody Wants Some. Those 2 songs are still good. And what's cool about this, I think I got this for $20, but I ended up getting one with the full David Lee Roth poster, which I don't know if for some reason you guys, somebody doesn't have it. I'll show you. Yeah, look at that. Oh my God, I don't know if you can even see all that. Look at all that. That's X-rated. But yeah, that was kind of cool to have that in here.
Well, ain't life grand when you finally hit it? I'm always a sucker for a real good time. Woke up in life, found I almost missed it. Ain't I glad that love is blind? But I was young and I was far too crazy. Been that way for a long, long time. Needed a girl, but I was just too lazy. Now that I found you, you think you got the interest? Come on and take the time. I'm gonna be yours in a simple
All right, this album is interesting. This is from 1978, and this is Triumph. This is Rock and Roll Machine. This is their first album, but this is the US version of their first album, which not only does it have a different cover, but it has a different track listing. There's like 1 or 2 songs on here that are different from the Canadian release. But this is Rock and Roll Machine from Triumph. This is their first album. This is really good. Just straight up hard rock. Great stuff from Triumph. final one I bought, this is actually a new release, but it's the Alice Cooper album Killer from 1973, but this is the 2023 reissue. And again, I bought this only because I was able to get it for like $30 at an Amazon warehouse deal. This album goes for like 60 to 70 bucks at the stores. I think it's like $69.99 or something like that. It's a 3-album set. It's got the album, and then it's got two live shows. This album is one of my favorite albums. Well, I would say this is my favorite album from Alice Cooper. So it intrigues me in that way that I was interested in hearing what he sounded like back then live. And yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. I enjoyed listening to this. Listening to the live stuff I thought was good, and the repress I thought sounded great. I have no problems with this repress as far as sound quality is concerned. Now, I went through my audiophile, records, the ones that I bought to test with, to see if I noticed a difference. And audiophile isn't necessarily for me, so I think with my hearing and with how I listen to records and what I get out of it, the audiophile stuff isn't really doing anything for me. So if there's a problem with this press, like if people are like, oh, the treble is off, or oh, there's, a little bit of sibilance on this one part, I'm not hearing it. It's not bothering me while I'm listening to the record. So I think this is and I've read a little bit about these represses that they weren't the best. And they're probably digital, so they're not analog. Most likely it doesn't say that they're analog. They're not AAA or anything like that. So I'm pretty sure these are digital, but they sound really good to me, and I have no issues with that. Plus the price and the extra material. And the version of Killer that I have is jacked. I got it for free from a friend, and he had 2 copies, and he didn't give me the best one. and that was on purpose. He's giving me a free record. I'm not complaining, but I definitely got a beat up copy, let's just say. It played through, it didn't skip, but it definitely had the snap, crackle, pops. But I was able to listen to that record a lot, actually, because I love it so much. I stuck through that, and I kind of listened to it anyway on occasion, and I really enjoyed listening to it. But I do want to replace my original presses kind of with these reissues if I can. I really would like to find these at a cheap price. I want to get $1 Billion Babies, and I don't know if I hope he does Love It to Death. That would be freaking great if he did a really special edition of Love It to Death like this. Alice Cooper Killer, this is the last on the list, and I got this really good deal on Amazon as an Amazon warehouse deal.
I wear lace and I wear black leather. My hands are lightening up on my gun. My shots are clean, my shots are final. My shots are deadly, and when it's done, you're as stiff as my smoking barrel. You're as dead as a desert night. You're a notch and I'm a legend. You're at peace and I must hide.
All right, that's it. Like, subscribe, thank you, comment, put music in your videos if you can. If you're a video maker, if you're a content maker, take the time to do that, because it's kind of cool to be able to hear what you're talking about. And if you're not monetized anyway, doesn't matter. You're not going to get dinged. If you're worried about it, don't post the video. Just put it on there and watch the copyright. It'll tell you that it's copyright and that it's okay and it's not a copyright strike, and then post it. All right, thanks. Bye.